Just a quick live, man. It's really a part two to the last video or the last live that I just uploaded. But I'm gonna get straight to the chase, man. You know, Chad and Tyrone, they're never gonna understand your world, man. So it's not cool to even argue with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna argue with a man who will never understand my life. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna argue with a man that get all the Stacys and the Keishas and shit. I'm not gonna argue with them, man, because they're not gonna understand. Because they're at the top of the food chain. If they were average looking, or even worse, below average looking, they would be trying to do the same thing. Get money and status to get the top tier females. But they get them naturally, with looks. I have struggled always to get a woman with a big behind. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get me some money and some status so I can attract the women that he attracts on the regular. I'm seeing Chaz and Tyrone everywhere with the women that I would love to be with, but I'm not that young, I'm not that attractive like that. You feel what I'm saying? So I cannot expect Chaz and Tyrone to understand my life or your life. You average looking, you're below average looking at best. Chad and Tyrone, they're not gonna understand. They're gonna say, oh, why are you getting money? Just, you know, be like me, be a Chad, be a Tyrone. You know, nah, you don't need to get money, bro. You know, fuck all that money and status. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you want a woman that's out of your league, you're gonna have to get money. For Chad and Tyrone, there's no females out of their league. They're at the top of the food chain when it comes to looks. You feel what I'm saying? So they're not gonna understand. It's like a sub 5 dude, he'll never understand a normie's life. What it is to have just a few options. You feel me? You know, he's not gonna understand a authentic relationship with a woman that's an average looking female. The only way I can get the Stacys and the Keishas, bro, I gotta have money and status. I can't do it naturally. My genetics says no. Nah, you ain't built like that, homeboy. You need money and status to attract a Keisha, a female that's top tier, beautiful, curvy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Tyrone, and I'm getting older. My looks are getting worse every single year that goes by. We just had another year. Ain't no slowing these years down, man. You feel me? You know, ain't no slowing these years down, man. These years just keep going by like, man, soon enough I'm gonna be dead. Soon enough I'm gonna hit the graveyard and shit. So I would like to be with a top tier female. That'll be a new experience for me, man. To be with a Keisha or a Stacy with all them curves and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Like every time I get a woman, there's something wrong with her. She's lacking in something. My last girlfriend, she lacked from the neck down, she was lacking. Even her breasts wasn't all that. They wasn't all perky and straight. They were saggy from having kids and shit. or having one kid. That's the reason why we stayed together so long. My ex-girlfriend, she wasn't that desirable, man. And she was older. She was 35 when I got her, man. So it's like, we want these women, but they don't want us because we're not on the same looks level. Why go for me when she can have a Tyrone or a Chad? You feel what I'm saying? There's something that the Chads and Tyrones of the world won't understand. They won't understand that part. You feel me? Oh, Hellcat, bro, what you talking about, man? Go out there and be a Chad, bro. Just approach him, man. Or don't approach him. Just let them approach you. This one 6'8" Tyrone talking about don't approach. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but there was a 6'8" Tyrone talking about don't approach. Don't approach. Like, what you talking about don't approach? I gotta approach. I gotta put in more work than you, bro. And then you got like a tall Anthony Joshua, that's a 7 in looks. Dude 6'5". He got no problem getting a woman. And plus he's a 7 in looks too. And he got money and status, bro. He got it all. He got looks, youth, money, status. There's no struggle in his neck of the woods. You feel what I'm saying? A guy that's 5'9", he gonna have some problems like me. I'm 5'9", man. And a lot of the times, my struggle comes from my height. I'm just not tall enough. You feel what I'm saying? So if you was in my boat, Chad and Tyrone, I'm talking to the Chads and the Tyrones. If you were 5'9", average at best, with only a few good features, like I think my eye area is close to a Tyrone eye, because they're hunter eyes, they're hooded eyes. I thank goodness for that. You know what I'm saying? My lip area is pretty good. Females like my lips. You know what I'm saying? I've been told that my whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? But when you're 5'9", man, you better have a good physique nowadays. You better be working out. You better be on a decent diet or something. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're gonna struggle, bro. You feel what I'm saying? If I was 6 foot, bro, I wouldn't be struggling like I am right now. I would have had a girlfriend by now. Guaranteed, bro. My height would have made me a lot more attractive. If I was 6'1", 6'2", okay? And I got a face like right now, like my face is decent looking and shit, man, I would have had a girlfriend like a long time ago. Because I'm short to a lot of females, except like boobs. She likes me, but she's 5'4", okay? She's shorter than me. She comes up to my chest, so I can see why she's attractive. I got the physical, I work out. I mean, if you look at me, you can tell I work out. Maybe my face is a little bit puffy from all the bad foods or the alcohol that I drink. But you can look at me and tell, like, oh shit, yeah, he work out, he do push-ups, he does squats, he does capoeira. You know what I'm saying? So since I work out and I do have a okay physique, I'm gonna get some attention. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, I know my looks is not gonna last forever. Eventually, I'm gonna be leading with the bag, and we all gonna be leading with the bag at one point of our life. You forget that we get old, right? So yeah, you're gonna have to lead with the bag then. But the Chads and the Tyrones who are in their prime, I don't listen to them, bro, because we come from two different like planets and shit. You feel what I'm saying? You know, yeah, I lack resources. Yeah, that's my problem too, man. Yeah, I'm getting my bread together now, man. I'm chasing the bag right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. Yeah, I get it, bro. But I'm just saying, like, to get a certain caliber female, you would have to have a little bit of money. You know, a woman that's above your looks level. And we want females that's above our looks level. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody want a female or anybody that's over their looks level. But the money is something that you gotta have, man. You feel me? Money. Chads and Tyrones, they don't need money to get the Keishas and the Stacys, man. They don't. You feel me? So my thing is, the Chads and Tyrones, they won't understand. It's like talking to a guy that's from a different planet. He come from a planet of like where Superman come from. 6 foot, you know, with the S curl in front of his forehead. You know what I'm saying? A full head of hair. You know, he got everything going for him, bro. So it's like, yeah, if you're under 6 foot and you're average looking, with a few good features like me, you're still going to struggle. And I've been struggling. I done had females ghost me and all the other stuff, man. You know, women prefer taller men and shit, but sometimes that don't be the case. You know, when dudes who are 5'9", 5'10", we still get women, but it's not as much as Chad and Tyrone. So they'll never understand my world, man. When you got a limited amount of options, you're gonna get money and get status so you can get more options. You know, Chad and Tyrone, they don't really have to go get money, but some of them do. You feel what I'm saying? Some of them, they go out and get money and status. You know, like Tyson Bedford, Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, okay? Anthony Joshua. Yeah, he's around a 7. I don't think he's a Tyrone though, but still. Dudes, even though they tall and good looking, they still gotta go out and get money. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys have a good day, man. I just got to my spot. It's time for me to eat. I'm hungry. You guys have a good day. I'm out. Peace.